What's up everybody, my name is Patrick, but my friends call me Pat, and today we are looking at why one of the most conservative shows on television is actually pretty gay. I know this is technically coming out after June has ended, but, you should never really rush the timetable of a gay person coming out. Or, rush something else coming out. Ha! Gay! That's just a little taste about what we've got going on in this video, because this video is going to be one part a very scholarly and serious textual analysis of Mr. Birchum, looking for the telltale signs of homosexuality, and it's also going to be one part me reading gay Mr. Birchum fanfiction. Because if there's one thing we queers love, it's turning our favorite heterosexual characters gay and then writing stories about their lurid sexual escapades, or sexcapades for short. But now that I've had to tell you what that acronym means, we've both lost 5 seconds, so we need to keep moving. We've got so much time, so little to see. Actually, scratch that, reverse it. It also should be noted I haven't read any of these stories we're going to read ahead of time, so you're going to be getting my raw and unfiltered reactions. That's not going to be the only thing that's raw. Ayo, gay people, But let's start with the actual fiction before we get into the fan fiction, although the latter is probably infinitely more creatively inspired. So, obviously, the creator of Mr. Birchum probably didn't intend for Mr. Birchum to be gay. Yes, boos are warranted. But guys, here's the beauty of something called media analysis. Because we, the viewer, can draw our own interpretations and draw our own conclusions from the source work, regardless of if it was what the original creator intended. This is why, if you're a Christian pastor, you can basically say whatever the heck you want about the Bible, and it will probably be supported somewhere. It's all kosher. Well, I guess that would be the Torah. But so using that same stretchy logic that conservatives use to call gay people icky, we are going to find evidence that Mr. Birchum, the conservative hero, really wants to be down by a bear. Or a twink. Should I censor the word twink? Twink feels like a word that the YouTube algorithm wouldn't really like that much, so yet another instance of twink discrimination in our society. Sad. They already die so young. In episode 1, Carponzi greets Birchum by saying he is a heteronormative cisgendered white man. And now notice, he says heteronormative, not heterosexual. So the door is wide open. Carponzi left Mr. Birchum a little bit of bait. Queer bait, if you will. Carponzi and Birchum even have like a little sassy, flirty moment, a little Jim Pam, will they, won't they type moment here.
I've got my eye on you, Mr. Birchum.
Unfortunately, I'm taken.
They go on to have a bit of a quarrel, one could even say a lover's quarrel, at the end of episode 1, when Carponzi tries to get Birchum fired, which kind of extends into episode 2, where Carponzi is really trying to get Birchum back to school after he finds that Birchum is cutting class to get drunk on Veterans Day. While you might see a workplace rival trying to get revenge, I see a potential lover trying to protect his prospective paramour from the dastardly thralls of alcoholism in the bars, and I think both interpretations are equally valid. And while Carponzi does try to bond with Birchum there and gets rejected, I think this is all part of the process. Right now, this is seeming like the act 1 of a romantic comedy when they don't realize that they're right for each other yet, and they're all like, oh, I could never be with that guy. And at the start of episode 3, Mr. Birchum is bragging about his, pardon mon français, sexual prowess in the teacher's lounge right in front of Carponzi.
I want to enlist you to do what you do best.
For what I do best, the both of you would have to leave the room for 2.5 minutes.
Now, is this just locker room talk regular, parentheses, derogatory to women, close parentheses, or is this locker room talk, parentheses, close parentheses? Always remember to close. He then asks him to build a set for his play. Birchum, while initially a little reluctant, does eventually accept and spends what must have been dozens, if not hundreds of hours on this beautiful set off screen, all for Mr. Carponzi. A labor of love, perhaps? Anyways, all this is building up to episode 4 for a moment that you probably know if you've watched this series before, a moment that probably got my video demonetized because YouTube hates the gays. It is a gay dance sequence, and it's probably the best sequence that's been animated in the entire show because, all the animators who were tasked to animate this conservative cartoon were all queer. And the gay vision initially starts as gay meaning happy, which is what gay used to mean before that darned alphabet mafia went and took it from us. And then they also went and stole the rainbow from God. Give it back. Come on. Come on, ignore that, come on. But then it turns gay as in gay as the suave Mr. Carponzi enters like a character in a romance novel. The pair embrace and begin in a passionate dance. Before Mr. Birchum wakes up, his expression is that of somebody who knows that they have this desire and doesn't like it, but knows that this is a very real thing that they're contending with. And this is all pretty common in men who are experiencing queer feelings which they're trying to suppress for whatever reason. In Birchum's case, Mr. Birchum is a very masculine person with a lot of deep-seated insecurities. He also sees visions of the TV mascot he idolized in his youth, Burly Man, and Burly Man's sidekick, who is a giant bear. So, suffice it to say that bears are on Birchum's mind a lot.
Turn this crap off and come upstairs and eat like a normal human bear. Bing!
Is this a coincidence, or does Mr. Birchum have a suppressed but ever-present desire to be held in the hairy arms of a gay man? It's also here that I'll note he did used to date a lesbian.
I'm a lesbian now.
Was it an honest mistake, or was she merely Birchum's beard while he looked for a sexy beefcake? Another pun there, huh? We can't go one video without a shitty pun, Patrick. Can't go one video. Get in the game! So I think it's pretty clear for viewers like you and me, there are a series of rainbow-colored breadcrumbs
I've pretty much just been leaving a breadcrumb trail of gayness
that we can follow and determine that Mr. Birchum is a few kumquats short of a fruit salad.
You think you just fell out of a
Kumquat.
tree?
And no, that's not a real phrase to indicate that someone's queer. I just made that up, because you know what the thing about kumquats is? They kind of sound like cum. I think it's pretty clear that the true ending of this show should be with Mr. Birchum and Mr. Carponzi getting together. And that's what I fully expect is going to happen in the finale. You're going to want to subscribe if you haven't, because that video is coming soon. We're going to be reading a couple stories, don't know how many, that many, from Archive of Our Own, and they're entirely fan-supported, so I'm going to be putting a link to donate to them, as well as links to any of these stories I read in the description. I'll be reading some excerpts and summarizing them, and there will probably be a level of comic censorship for the YouTube algorithm. And, you know, speaking of appealing to the algorithm, YouTube robot, hey, listen to me. You're watching this video, right? Okay. This next part of the video is about a man and a woman, right? And nothing is before marriage? Is that something we still care about? Oh, and they love each other. Yes. Okay. I think that should do it, right? So the first ever fan fiction about Mr. Birchum is called Woodworking by Tyrant Storm. Summary here, Mr. Birchum is greeted on the first day of school in his woodworking class by the new Jedi officer, Mr. Carponzi, but he gets a lot more than what he was expecting. Mr. Birchum wiped the sweat off his brow. He had been carving wood for a couple hours after the bell had rung. Gage had left him a welcome back to work gift on the table which he had yet to unwrap. The kids made a mess in his classroom with snack wrappers and chip bags littering the floor. So they're setting the scene here. We've got some real nice background and foundation here. He could feel someone watching him from behind. He quickly turned around. Oh God, not him. It was the new Jedi the school hired to improve inclusivity. His mind must have been addled with the woke mind virus. What do you want? Birchum spat out with a mean tone. Oh, nothing too major. I was just hoping you could help me with some woodworking, Carponzi said in a slow, careful tone. Birchum couldn't help but savor every word he... Oh no, we're at savoring. We're at savoring, ladies and gentlemen. That's not a good sign. What is it you're drinking? Birchum asked in a rough tone. That's what I do appreciate about fan fiction. Every sentence that a character says, you know exactly like how they say like a rough tone, a mean voice, because, you know, in general you don't do that in real writing, but if you're going to use this as kind of a setup to a point, these are the details that matter. But anyways, about that woodworking, Carponzi slowly walked up to Birchum. He felt like a deer in headlights. He couldn't move. Carponzi extended his arm and placed it on Birchum's shoulder. Should I keep going? Carponzi asked in that damned seductive tone. That smile. That damned smile. Birchum was blushing hard. Yes? Carponzi smirked. He unbuttoned one button off of Birchum's shirts and dragged his fingertips across his chest. ruffling the hair. One of Birchum's nipples was visible. Do I need to censor nipples? I don't know. And Carponzi glided his hand over that too. Birchum whimpered slightly as Carponzi's hands moved down. No, 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 no. Well, looks like I'll be helping you with your wood first, Carponzi stated, pulling his pants and boxers down in one swift move, revealing an impressive 10-inch... Mr. Birchum is a 5-incher all day, but that's fine. Birchum was in heaven. He had never had sex this good before. Did this mean he was one of those queers? Oh, he kicked in his face. Oh, he kicked in his face. Okay. Carponzi walked over to the box on the desk from Gabe, the welcome back gift. He ripped it open, pulling out a pack of condoms. He slipped one on. See? Great. The setup, payoff, guys. That's narrative. The Birchum writers actually could learn from this fan fiction. A gay fan fiction about their characters fornicating with each other, but the point still stands. I asked your friend to do me a favor because I knew today was the day. Ever since I saw you first, I knew I wanted you, Birchum. I've wanted you for so long, and now you're all mine. Birchum decided he would not be telling his wife. Poor Wendy. She's gonna have to drink another bottle of wine to really make up for this. Okay, so basically, they, make love. That's the word I'll use. It's a generous descriptor. And then it's the day 2. There's the second day, and then there's more. I don't even know if this is funny, to be honest with you. I feel like I've just read pornography. It's called Steady by someone named Spermicide Woundalingus. And the summary of it is Carponzi fucks Birchum on his desk. So, let's read. And if it's not clear, Mr. Birchum's name is Richard. I don't know if that's ever come up in any of my... It's probably come up like twice, but... Fuck Carponzi, he whispers, voice reduced to nothing but a hot whisper. Richard's hands cling to the wood, fingers scratching down as he gets fucked like a cheap whore. You're nothing but filthy scum, aren't you? You're a fucking... Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, so it's just like... This is just like a traditional porn, except it's Mr. Carponzi and Mr. Birchum. Okay. Now, Elliot says, giving him a harsh thrust. That isn't a very politically correct thing to say. Not when you're face first into your desk, ain't copulating with another man. Z spoke. I really respect that this person did their research because they know that Mr. Carponzi uses Z-zer pronouns, which is used as the show as a joke, but presumably is a very real part of Mr. Carponzi's identity and of many people who live in this world. It's a valid part of their identity as well. Z spoke, tugging on his messy collar. Richard coughed, clenching around the inside him, earning him to remember something his son said. Quote, after all, it's only gay if you're the only one getting pounded. The ginger sighed, pounding the older man harder into the desk. It's embarrassing. It's disgusting, Richard thinks as he's engulfed in the sickness. He hates it. Despises Elliot and their schlong. That's currently digging deep inside him. Zooey mama. Oh, this is... I don't know if this is better or worse than the show. Z snaps his hips upwards, earning a huge groan to fall from the old man's lips. Fuck, stupid woke nerd. Clearly never had a woman there to teach you how to fuck properly. Elliot ignores him, fucking him harder. As one does, I guess. This ain't getting monetized. I'm rapidly realizing that. But he bit down on his lip, attempting to block out the pleasure shocks shaking through him. That's a bit of a tongue twister. This was the worst thing to ever happen to him, but with each sensation, Zer's cock hitting sweet spots inside his hole. Such a good boy, Elliot smiled, getting a few more thrusts in before coming undone with a loud groan, spilling inside Richard. What am I doing with my life? Whatever you're seeing has been cut down. I have read this whole thing, and I'm worse off for it. The older man choked, nails buried into his desk as he's filled like a cream puff, leaving him to pant like a stupid dog. I'm so glad this is the last paragraph of this. So, a lot of thoughts there. None of them good. Okay, I really only have the bandwidth for one more. I'm gonna look. Oh my god, okay, this person actually shouted me out in the description of the fan art. The fan fiction. So we're gonna read that one. Left slides to the left by Air Serpent. Glad we can feature your content in this one. This one is nice and tame. My viewers, they didn't go right to the immediate lowbrow type of stuff, right? We've got a nice classy thing where Wendy is tired of her life, but one call from a man that's the opposite of her husband will add some fun. Wendy had gone through birth, divorce, and remarriage that caused a blended family. Her own daughter follows her stepdad instead of her own mother. He's a miserable lard of beer, television, light, and always wanting to be correct. I think that could also function as a good description and summary of the show. One day, she was at home taking a day off because she had COVID. A lie. She had a wine-induced hangover after Birchum shoved her off the bed in his sleep. At least she was going to pretend he was sleeping and not half-napping under beer influence. So I want to know the thought process there. Does she get, drunk after he shoves her off? Or was she already drunk? I don't know, man, but that's funny. That's really funny. Oh no! Eddie was in the room doing his streams. Wendy opened the door slowly, bringing in a bottle of water. Keep yourself hydrated, she whispered to him so loud that he said, "It's just my stepmom." Oh gosh. Anytime you see a stepmom in these stories, you see the word stepmom, your alarm bells go ring, 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 ring. Oh. Wendy did so, and she escaped the room before she could indulge her urge to stand in the middle of the stream and take the spotlight. She was born in the wrong generation. Okay, so she just wanted to be on the video game stream. There is nothing untoward here. Phew. Crisis averted. It would mess with Birchum's ego that his lazy son earned more. He was still in denial that Wendy did. Jeannie didn't believe it yet. Stupid pick-me girl. Wendy laid on the couch until she had a phone call. "Just call me Wendy," she said, trying not to enter a patriarchal crisis. "You sound familiar." "I'm Elliot Carponzi," he said. "I'm the—" "Oh yeah," she cut him off from her realtor habits. "What's up? Did Birchum make the students be his slaves again?" "He's rarely repetitive, I'll give him that," Carponzi said with an odd chuckle to his voice. "I just want to talk about Jeannie for a moment." So Carponzi expresses that he has concerns with how Jeannie's being raised, and then says, "I was hoping I could meet with you just so we could discuss some possible tactics or just ideas." They go and meet. "I didn't know you were a Ray, Wendy," Carponzi said after they finished discussing about Jeannie. Now they ate lunch. Ray from Star Wars or a Spanish king? Wendy sipped her fruit punch, which for once she didn't need to slip vodka in. This person, they got the sauce in this story, man. She was getting her joy from Carponzi. She couldn't truly figure out why. "How about both?" Carponzi suggested. They shared a laugh from the absurdity. "How are you still single? You have that, what do you call it?" Wendy grasped her hair with both hands. "Not nice guy, but really sweet guy." Carponzi was flattered, and that made Wendy laugh. "You're married," he said, "but it's a heteronormative marriage, and your only child is being influenced. Eddie is also your child of—" "Just relax," Wendy said, before she leaned in and kissed him on the lips. Carponzi freezes for a moment, but soon he melts, and they share a soft, exciting smooch in the middle of a mall's food court. Okay, nice and wholesome. I'll just say it. Out of all the stories I read, I like the one that shouted me out the most. Not because I'm biased, but because that's really the only story that didn't make me want to claw my eyes out of my skull. I'm honestly kind of speechless, but I think the one takeaway we can take from this is that there is so much more creativity being poured into these stories that are a little graphic than there was ever put into that stupid show. But that's going to do it for me, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. This video, I honestly think it, I don't give, obviously, my unfettered, real reactions to the actual episodes. It's similar to this, but this kind of just, caught me off guard. But yeah, that's actually going to do it for me, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you enjoyed it, please like, please comment. Please give me any thoughts. Please give me different thoughts than the ones I have in my mind. Please comment literally anything. Comment what you think is going to happen in the finale. There's my actual comment prompt if you want one. And please subscribe. Please. And as always, my name is Patrick, but my friends call me Pat, and I will see you for the next one. I am...